Have any of you played the BioShock trilogy? If you have, then I think you'll understand my saying that 28 weeks later just got BioShock 2'd. I'm okay with that because the original 28 Days Later is a great film that has stuck with me for all of these years, and the second one just kind of blends in with the rest of them for me. The same team has returned for 28 years later that made Days Later. So how is the result? It follows after the events of 28 Days Later, and the entirety of Britain is locked down in full quarantine. The person we follow is a 12-year-old named Spike. He lives on an island that is detached from the mainland with a group of survivors that seem to have figured out the system, and it is helping them to survive. Spike has reached his first mission day, where his dad is taking him on his first mission to the mainland so he can get his first infected kill. This is a film that I think is going to divide people. I think this is a critics or cinephiles kind of picture more than a mainstream audience kind of film. The first 40 minutes or so of the picture is about the father-son relationship, their journey on the mainland, and building up the world for you. At first I was frustrated with the over-editing, but I grew accustomed to it after about 15 to 20 minutes because not only is that how Danny Boyle directs most of his films, but it's also a zombie movie, so the frantic style fits with the way these monsters are so aggressive. Aaron Taylor Johnson plays the dad of the child, and he does a very good job of acting here. Many people are comparing this to The Last of Us, I'm assuming because of recency bias with that show and game, but I got much more vibes from Children of Men, The Road, and one other film I will talk about in a moment. I like how the film takes its time in building its tension by giving us the point of view of the young boy. He is obviously scared because he's never killed anyone before and has not even a basic understanding of the world outside of this. So he misses shots quite often because of the stress of the situation he's in, and his father is patient with him and is a good tutor on how to survive this apocalyptic world they all inhabit. About midway through the picture, we shift gears and it becomes about the boy wanting to get his mother checked out by a doctor. She has been having memory lapses and memory gaps, so the second half of the picture is about the journey between mother and son. The film is going for many themes, and some of it is surface level and schematic. I also understand that this is the first part of a trilogy, so I'm not going to hold some of its non-answers against it. Now, if we get to the next two pictures and that stuff is not answered, then I will hold it against this film in retrospect, but for now, I'm willing to give Danny Boyle the benefit of the doubt here. It's a very elemental movie. Most of the things it is showing you have to do with world building and drawing the bleak mood it wants to convey. If you are looking for a zombie movie that is pure carnage, then this is not the one to see. This film wants to make you one with its elements and themes. Jodie Comer plays the mother, but I think she is downplayed like the father is. They are thinly sketched, but this movie is carried by this young boy, Alfie Williams. It's a big ask to have someone this age carry a film that is going for this much weight, but he pulls it off, and he pulls it off extraordinarily well. You buy his curiosity, his gullibility, fear, and sheer determination to help his mom. This is an acting job that is right up there with Linda Blair's efforts in The Exorcist, or Alex Vincent's efforts in Child's Play. Some top tier casting, and I think this guy may become a big star if he keeps getting smart scripts. I said that this film is giving me vibes from one other film, which segues me to Ralph Fiennes' character. He plays the doctor, and the moment he shows up, the film starts resembling the last third of Apocalypse Now, with a psychedelic tone, existential philosophies, and I will say that Fiennes looks just like John Locke from Lost did in this movie. It's awesome looking. He's great in just about everything he's in, and he is up to the task with this character. My only complaints with this character are kind of how he's written, and how he's built up, and how he just conducts himself. He's built up the same way the old man neighbor in Home Alone was, where he's weird and has done all this ominous stuff with these weird stories from people, but turns out to be a decent guy. However, that is a problem too, because even though he has a mountain of skulls in his hideout, and all that shamanistic imagery wherever he goes, he's written in a way that Steven Spielberg characters would be written, where it's very soft and glowy, where he's just a big softy and is automatically accepting of everything going on with our hero and his parents. It clashes with the things we are told earlier in the film, how there are some weird and twisted people on the mainland, and everything is built hauntingly occasionally that there may be strange factions of people who we may meet, which never come to fruition until the very end of the film. I think that if Fiennes would have been more resistant, we could have had more to grow with what is basically a coming-of-age story set in a zombie apocalypse. I haven't mentioned the infected at all because they are very downplayed in this film. Yes, we get some gnarly chase scenes and some pretty good kills too, but the film just isn't very scary if you ask me. It's tense, but not scary. The zombies have basically evolved to the point where there is a hierarchy of sorts with them, and there is one type of zombie that you don't want to be anywhere near. I think this is where people may become divided because there are long segments of the picture where we don't see infected anywhere in sight. But as I said, this is an elemental film. Absorb all of its world and not just the zombies, and maybe it will click for you like it did for me. There is a lot of religious undercurrent in this picture, from the pastor at the beginning who is praising the end times, to there being a connection with the kids' show Teletubbies, and the image of a cross being important. And the themes of this film are hitting all the right notes. While we grieve death, we also welcome new life. You must overcome your fears to face the hostile world in front of you. There's a weird section where a character is introduced and they have a smartphone and talk about using the internet that felt oddly out of place until you remember that the rest of the world in this universe is fine and it's just living, I presume, the same way we do. The things that are not successful are the relationships between the three main characters as a whole, as well as how it feels like there are three stories stapled together that seemed at times incompatible with each other. And the last scene of the picture is a massive tonal shift that I don't know how to feel about. Was I supposed to laugh at it? Or was the jolt of tone intentional? It was a strange last 5 minutes, but I still really like this movie overall. I would recommend it to anyone. It's not a mindless zombie picture, it has a lot on its mind. And while it doesn't successfully get all of it out, it nails the bullseyes much more often than not. Add in strong performances of the lead character, and I think this is a good, intense movie that is obviously the first chapter and more to come, and I welcome what's next. I give 28 Years Later 3 stars out of 4. I know why some people don't like this film, but I vibed with its world and elements so much that everything else being kind of light as a feather didn't bother me all that much. Great cinematography, great performances, and a cool world propelled me, and I hope it does the same for you. And that is my review. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.